I know a lot of people were critical of Tangled being a 3D movie when it first came out, and it's not like I can't see why. Disney fairy tales were traditionally 2D, and the more modern or experimental stuff was generally 3D. And yeah, seeing Rapunzel's long glowing hair hand-drawn would no doubt have been stunning, but it's still pretty damn impressive here. Besides, Princess and the Frog was 2D, and that didn't do anywhere near as well as people thought it would. Though I stated an alternate theory for that in the relevant video, which you should probably watch if you haven't already. I'll be drawing a lot of comparisons between those two films. Tangled has a much clearer focus than Princess and the Frog. It's less paint by numbers and less convoluted. They still meet quirky side characters along the way, but they're not given full-on backstories that eat up half the runtime. They're just there to provide a little relief when needed, and they even contribute to the story. Honestly, I could gush about Tangled for days, but I've given myself an 8-minute limit on these videos, so let's get on with gushing about Rapunzel specifically. Okay, maybe not gushing exactly. Don't get me wrong, I really like Rapunzel, and most of the criticisms I have stem from what I expected her to be, rather than what she is. For example, the first time I saw Tangled, I got really excited right at the start, seeing all the things she does to pass time in her tower. Hobbies that would improve her athleticism, her intelligence, her creativity, her knowledge. I couldn't wait to see how she was going to utilise these skills once she escaped the tower. Well, she hits people with a frying pan. A lot. A lot. And she saves herself and others by using her hair, which is awesome. Always. But that's about it. She seems to get by mostly on her charm and charisma, both of which I feel she shouldn't have much of, having been locked in a tower with only one other person and a chameleon to socialise with. Like I say, all this criticism is based on what I wanted her to be. As for what she really is, she's still a lot of fun. Someone as recklessly optimistic as her can wander dangerously close to annoying territory. Luckily she has enough bite and determination to temper what could have been a sickly sweet attitude. All this development is further compounded by a sense of fear and restraint. She's wandering into an unknown situation completely blind, but she's self-aware enough to realise it, clever enough to recognise her own strengths, and has enough wit to use them to see her through. So, how did they ruin it? Not with the romance, that's for sure. Psych! Though this follows the same formulaic first they hate each other then they love each other love story that Princess and the Frog, and countless other stories, did, this is done much more organically. For a start, their individual goals are much simpler and clearer. He wants to get back the treasure he stole, she wants to see the floating lights on her birthday. As it happens, by striking an uneasy deal, they can help each other achieve those goals. Along the way, they learn about each other, grow to respect each other, respect grows to like grows to love, etc, etc. It follows almost all the same beats. What elevates it above Princess and the Frog is the pacing. The characters are allowed time to just be, to develop and interact naturally. Eugene's transformation from hapless idiot to good guy with a purpose doesn't feel sudden like Naveen's did. And Rapunzel's realisation that there's more to life than what she wants isn't rushed clumsily like Tiana's was. I See the Light is the best love song Disney has done since A Whole New World. I know a lot of people like Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Personally, I don't. Even as a kid I felt it was too one-note thematically. Tangled's love song did what Aladdin's did. It explained what was literally happening in the story in a way that was metaphorically relevant to their relationship. Actually, in my opinion, it does it even better than Aladdin. There, seeing the world was a dream very specific to Jasmine. Finding the light is one of the main themes of Tangled, applying to Rapunzel, the King and Queen, Mother Gothel, even Max and the Barflies to a certain extent. Ugh, see what I mean about the gushing? Let's move on. This is about as perfectly done a follow your dream story as Disney has ever produced. Most of that stems from what I've already talked about. Simple motivations, interesting characters, good pacing. Rapunzel's initial dream is to simply see up close the lanterns she sees in the sky on her birthday. Also, perhaps, subconsciously, she wants to get out of her prison. This subliminal wish becomes explicit later on, once she's learned of all the lies she's been told about the world.
I won't stop for every minute of the rest of my life. I will fight. I will never stop trying to get away from you.
Wanting to become romantically involved with Eugene obviously becomes another dream as time goes on. Wanting to know who she really is and finding her real parents once she discovers she's the lost princess. The dreams and wishes keep mounting up as her story develops.
You were my new dream.
And you were mine.
Rather than the dreams and wishes being awkwardly imposed upon the story. This is how realising dreams plays out nicely in a narrative. By starting with something simple and then letting the tale offer other options that the character can then choose to ignore, add to their dreams, or even abandon their original dreams for. Try to do everything at once and you get, well, Princess and the Frog. Bubbly, brave, fun-loving, adventurous, emotional, bold, funny and determined. I've used all these words to describe previous princesses, but never all at once. And it didn't feel unnatural either. The girl power stuff in Mulan was awesome, but it always felt a little bit like I was being manipulated by it. The same goes for the bookishness of Belle. Rapunzel just comes across as a character who's playing out a story. No agenda, no politics, just simplicity. So you're probably thinking she's my favourite, right? Well, no. She's right up there, but be real. You forgot, or maybe didn't even realise, that Rapunzel was 15 for most of the movie, didn't you? We're about to see something that I never thought we'd see from a teenage Disney character. A teenage character. Join me next time for the rebellious Merida from Pixar's Brave.